I can't keep postponing this story. I keep getting distracted by working on the website, and I'm too tired after that, so I just chilled for since morning. I probably will postpone the paper hat on stream again, but it should be this week. But I'll do this one now because this format is short anyway. And mm, alright, good. Okay. Is this? It does not expire. Oh, you need to actually have. By the way, you can get 1, 2, 3. If you buy the most expensive battle pass, you get this 3 of this. That's one portrait of a character on that selection. I mean, if this is recurring, it's not just a special one-time thing. Wait, never mind. It's one time, probably. It's just the usual, yeah. It's just the occasion. It's the name here. It's probably. Or maybe they're just gonna rename it differently. If they give out, that's actually crazy. I don't think they will. I don't have Willow skin. Alright, let's just get started with this. Yeah, I like music. I have ears. Someone said. Oh Lord. A story told by candlelight. Question mark, question mark. For those who mastered musical rhythm, humanity has all kinds of words of praise for them. Among them, one specially exaggerated saying goes, when the most sublime musician performs, even the phoenix will gracefully alight upon his shoulders. Alright, I'll remember that. I have a playlist, but I don't think it's public. I should make it public. Although a bunch of it is actually local files. So on YouTube Music, so nobody can play it other than me. There are far too many humans like this in this world. Some grow accustomed to lies, some take loyalty as their guiding rule. At times they value their lives above all else. In very moment, will throw them away for something they cannot understand. Long ago, there was a zither player of an extraordinary. Wait, someone message. Yeah. Uh, One spring he sat alone. What's that? Chinese parasol tree and Firmiana simplex. Wutong. One spring, sat alone beneath a Wutong tree and began to play newly composed twist. He's, uh, it was a work he was most proud of, yet it lacked a proper ending. After a moment, as if touching something reassuring, he speaks again. And the piece ended. The Sitha player looked up and saw an immortal with a human uh, head and bird's body standing before him. Immortal can also be called divine beings. I'm pretty sure it's it's referring to Getian. The immortal asked him, "Why did you not continue playing?" Sitar player replied, uh, "I have not. I have written it only to a point, and do not know how to go on." The immortal said, "In that case, I am willing to complete it for you, so to bring forth a peerless score never before seen in this world." Is this he? uh, uh, context for that sticker where Getian is playing is it there? Expected the stars far from unsuccessful humans always harboring longing for unreachable worlds, hoping that immortals untouched by heat or cold will one day cast their gaze upon them. How laughable, how boring. I can prove this to you. He places the object at hand under the table and slowly pushes it into the candlelight. It is a sitar. With many years on it, the sitar's body has already grown fracture lines. The base has aged well, yet under lamplight or candlelight, it gives off the sheen that only comes from being cherished and gently handled for many long years. Seven silk strings of indistinguishable material tremble faintly, as if an unfinished piece still lingers upon them. Please try cutting the sitar string. A flick, then it slices through. Truly unexpected. The immortal Insider player immediately hit it off, admired his talent, and thus stayed in the human world. He also used arcane arts to alter his fate and bone structure, allowing everything to go smoothly for him until he was ultimately renowned throughout the land. What I have shown you is a sitar string made for the immortal's feathers. Under interesting scrutinizing gaze, the musician takes a deep breath. This is not the first time sharing the legend of the young man with others, and perhaps it will not be the last. The sitar player in the story is precisely my ancestor. Foggy, like old friends. This is the place. I mean, it's also Global already had the second one, but if you have not remembered, the orange name is who the anecdote belonged to, so that's automatically Getian. Um, I don't have uh my ulcer anymore, so it doesn't hurt anymore. But I still have a cold. All right. Uh, the Miamang uh draws its strings and lands on a patch of open ground halfway up the mountain. Pass through the narrow path, the humble hut. The humble hut, an utterly ordinary hut with a few bluish stone weighing on down the ridge. The owner here is one of Gutian's kin, but before they met, the one went down the mountain and never returned. The one staying here for the moment is a human musician who strayed into the mountains by mistake. Humble hut is right before your eyes. It's water boiling. Okay. That's although the water has only been brought to boil once. Uh, pouring of tea. Many things. The aroma of this tea seems somewhat different from what I once knew. Though you have always lived in the mountains, you seem more familiar with things below the mountain than I had imagined. Matters below the mountain are not to my liking. I have indeed heard some things. Hmm. Do the first one, I don't know.
No.
You just said what rituals. However, my kin left behind many records and thus I know a thing or two. Joy's doubts are similar to necrologists. It's probably gonna determine the ending. Probably want more of that than the opposite to the other one. I'll remember to having a choice so I can read the other one. I should also write down the dialogue it precedes. Proceed. Proceeds. Here's it, or has it been repaired? There are no materials in the mountains to repair it. It will have to wait for another time. What a pity, I had already originally planned to play a piece for you. It's no matter. Uh, since your bones have already healed, the day you go down the mountains is likely not far off. Yes. I've already imposed for too long. If I stay any longer, it would be lacking in uh, propriety. Oh, the mountains are fine. They are not my place to return to. When I came, the river was not yet thawed, but below the mountain it is likely already spring, and the flowers along the banks of the paling river should be blooming. If I live now and follow the east along the river, I may make it back before summer. And ask the woodcutter for a piece of find Wutong from the spring. And well, you no longer search for that volume of uh, sitar music. The candlelight is truly too dim. Could I trouble you to brighten it a little? Change the weather. Much better. The sitter score. I truly did come to the mountains for it. On the day you saved me, I watched as the sky grew darker bit by bit. Wolves howled all around, and I could not move and as I sat beneath the tree. And in my heart, I was still thinking about of that legendary sitter scroll. If wolves were to come and tear off at my flesh, I wondered whether they might leave these hands intact. That way I at least could still play the sitter. At the time, I couldn't help but let my thoughts run wild. How wonderful it would be if an immortal were to descend from heavens, just like one of your kin who was once bestowed a scar upon my ancestor. Immortal. To humans, the Myungman is truly is an existence like an immortal. Arcanists with human heads and bird bodies, dwelling in deep mountains that ordinary people cannot reach, possess long lifespans, and the most fearsome, yet also the most alluring, is their arcane arts that can alter bone structure and twist fate. There's no need to call us that. The Myongmang is no different from humans and will also one day pass away. But to me, this is truly a blessing like that of an immortal. Though I did not find the score, these hands that played the sitter were preserved. Thanks, that is indeed thanks to you. The young man shakes its feathers like somewhat awkward. Enough, as you wish. Still, seeing things as they are now, uh, having searched for so long, the scar is probably not in the mountains, perhaps. It's simply no faith, has no faith with me and cannot be forced. Besides, this journey of mine can be said to have let me meet an mortal just like my ancestor did. When I return and compose a new piece, who knows? Perhaps it will be even better than the one from back then. You have already made your decision, so be it. The night road is hard to travel. When dawn comes, I will see you down the mountain. However, there is still one place in the mountains that may preserve use to that scar. Since you will be leaving tomorrow, you may as well follow me. Take a look tonight. There's still some tremors in the mountains. If you collect and organize them again. Footsteps in the snow. They give you a psyche. A 5-star one. Some of them are really useful, especially for support, but they're 5 star, so some cases you actually would not want. It's not desirable to use them because your stats will be way lower, especially if the stage is like requiring a lot of HP. But they're still good. You can buy them in the permanent shop afterwards, though, if you didn't get it for free. I mean, if you just want the rewards, it's literally just click the skip button. Then you can you can just read it whenever you want. The musician carries the zither back, walking one behind with the other along the mountain towards the ancestral hall. Within the within Getian's kin, ancestor hall are stored various records of the Myanmar after their migration into the Central Plains. If the lost car still has an archive copy left in the mountains, it may be here. From afar, they look like two uh, duckbids drifting up and down the boundless sea.
I'm sorry.
You saved me, and I'm truly grateful beyond words. Now I'm troubling you like this. I truly should not. Saving someone was no more than a simple gesture. I never thought of asking for payment, yet you told me an unexpected piece of information. With that reckoning, it is I who owe you. Something you did not expect. Oh, it's that one of your kin who had dealings with my ancestors. So many years have passed and you still keep this in mind. You must have been very close.
No,
Then at least you had a prior acquaintance.
no, never.
It can't be that you were total strangers. Nods. You have never met this. I'm only curious about him, about them, and why they went down the mountain. Uh, I have read every record in the ancestral hall, and there is none that contains the answer I seek. You came down from the mountain. I want to hear your answers. So that's how it is. After you mentioned it last time, I thought it over carefully several times. Uh, it's just that, oh, these few hundred years are but a snap of the fingers to a young. Below the mountain, it has already become a different world. After so many years of retellings, the details of the story inevitably blur. This is all I have heard. As for the more specific circumstances, I truly do not know.
At least,
From the perspective below the mountain, what the story says does make sense. Humans may have different temperaments and appearances, but in the end, living in this world means wanting something. This will never change. Some seek power, some seek wealth, some seek a good name for 100 generations, some seek achievements for 1,000 autumns. Naturally, some also seek a peerless score. A risk coming up the mountain for it, and if your kin truly stayed long in a human world, for its sake, that would be only natural. Of course, this is only my clumsy view as a mere mortal. I mean, immortals like you, do you also have something you seek? Fine, since you have spoken candidly. If you mean in an actual like stage or even an anecdote like this, no. But on the war room, the main story stuff, just the side stuff, literally, just extra stuff that doesn't really matter much to the story. I'm pretty sure is on one of those, but also a lot of character that never really got any uh presence yet. Uh, I'm pretty sure those are still canon, but they're not that important. At the very least, they confirm that they exist in the current timeline. Um, the last young man to go down the mountain in memory. Personless. Personless? Let's just do the first one. I mean the first choice, not the last. Some are quite quiet and reserved, and others are overly curious. He brought back all manner of human things from below the mountain, immersing himself in them day and night. Doubts. Alright. This is the second doubt. That's just right. And there are young men who are humorous and love to joke. Later, they all went down the world below the mountain and never came back again. Oh, all I could retrieve were their bones, yet the bones did not give me an answer.
However,
I read of their whereabouts after going down the mountain, whom they met what kind of worldly affairs they went through only. I still do not know why they left. It doesn't sound like some unsolvable mystery. Life in the mountains is indeed good, but your kin must have had something of utmost importance in their hearts, so they would rather give up their long lifespan. Lifespan for people below the mountain is often a goal to pursue, but for your people it is merely a bargaining chip to trade away. Judging by your reasoning below, uh, the mountain Though some would do all manner of shameful things to preserve your lifespan, there are, after all, also those willing to sacrifice themselves for something else. As for what that something is,
I'm not sure that.
after all, only a human from below the mountain. I am just a human from below the mountain. I cannot fully know the thoughts of the Myanmar in the mountains. The ancestors falls before their eyes. And also a lot of cool stuff. Oh, this one as well. I mean, this is really, that's the gold one. You can run out of those really fast. Oh, okay. Uh, the old tree in the yard. This is the Mayang's ancestral hall. This place seems somewhat different from what you imagined. Far more than that. This is entirely unlike what it is like below the mountain. Is this the remains of your kin?
Exactly.
Is this a custom of the mountains? Handling them this way seems somewhat. Hmm. This person is already gone. The body is no more than earth and wood. Why concern oneself with it? It seems that it seems that it is not so below the mountain. Then how do you place the body? Below the mountain? There are ancestral halls as well. We gather the remains of the deceased, assess their life's merit, and enshrine them. How do you assess another person's merits? Oh, it has its merit? That is, whether one benefited others or whether one fulfilled one's own aspirations. If so, how one's own aspirations turn out, would that not be known only to oneself? How could others judge it? This is precisely what troubles me. By your account, those kin who went down the mountain who went down the mountain must have chosen an aspiration of their own. and left for its sake. But how did they confirm the purpose of the lives? Was there any basis? A basis? Your words I no longer understand. When we came, I mentioned you to you, Patrican, for fine principles of law. Second verse, second best. For the joys and sorrows of people. Third piece. For the injustices of the world. If so, those are indeed remarkable aspirations, utterly different from those of ordinary folk. Perhaps, and now, the past is past. They have all returned here, without a sound. If they had foreseen such an ending, would they still have made the same choice? You said when you came that you were willing to die for a single score. To me, that thought is no different from that I can. I'm also curious how you made your choice.
I see.
To give everything for one's life's purpose is indeed a difficult choice. Still, having such a chance may not be a misfortune. Among mortals, there are plenty who have no choice at all. Since there are so many scrolls here and bones, how are we to find clues to the score? Even searching until dawn might not be enough.
That's no matter.
Simply perform a piece. What? Please perform a piece. Your ancestors formed a band, the Miyamong, through music. If this place retains any clues, it should respond. I just realized, if this is like, wait, this is like long ago. I mean, the term arcane is probably, never mind. It's probably really old term. Unfortunately, my scissor was damaged from a fall in the mountains and has yet to be repaired. That will not be difficult. I do not know what material your scissor is made of, but everything in the ancestral hall is available. It should not be hard to find what is needed. Wait quietly. Propose repairing this agency. I'll just use the first one again. There's no way. Doubts. and fastened the long cedar, tosses it into the ground in dejection. Please believe me, I bear no ill intent. He who has gone astray. I am not a descendant of any famous master, merely a son of a cedar carver. Before me, my family made a living this way for generations, and I am a liar. His father, beneath the shade that leaves, his father told him a tale of their ancestor encountering a divine bird. So he said he wanted to learn cedar. His father laughed, yet gently stroked his hair. He truly did have hands well suited to playing scissors. At the time, he was called Phoenix Child, like a cherished child of wealth and status. However, his father left too early. What he truly left behind were only absurd stories, ambitions with nowhere left to go, and a wooden wood cedar missing its strings. As you can see, I cannot really play the cedar. It can hardly be said that I know how. Alright. I'm familiar with materials of strings and soundboard, but I never had chance to learn how to live alongside them. What was miss what was missing was just a little, a miracle, convincing enough. I carried the cedar on my back with the cedar carving knife. My father left me at my waist and left my hometown like that. The young monk, surprised but does not interrupt. There are always people willing to pay heavily, using moving legends to glorify their family name. As the story is still told from his mouth 1,000 times polished into brilliance, yet the city remains silent without sound. The mortal's favor a peerless scar. A genius youth who plays a sitter. Hesitant nights, a drifting childhood. Tangled thoughts knotted like rope. A story that presses forward without hesitation. You can only have one of them. In a real life, you can only have one of them. Sometimes I think if only divine birds truly existed in this world, if only were indeed someone favored by a divine word. Later on, someone truly believed this story and coerced me into going up the mountain to find him. I'm a young monk, so that's is how it does. When I first met you, I observed your bone structure and I sensed you were hiding something. As expected, it lies here.
I'm sorry.
I didn't know I didn't want this, but there was no other way. I truly never harbored any malicious intents. I was conflicted, but I also felt it truly would not do to repay kindness with betrayal, so I took the initiative to suggest going down the mountain. I was afraid that if I stayed any longer, I might give rise to thoughts I should not have. Please, let me go down the mountain. I will never return, and I will never not tell anyone I once met you. Very well. All things considered, you did not truly carry it though. True. You're not hungry? People below the mountain are mostly like this, constantly overturned and unsettled, with a few fixed outcomes. I saw how you would choose. Moreover, the many past events you spoke of just now were not entirely fabricated. Only you yourself did not realize it. He lays a wing over the sitter, then ponders for a moment and begins to tell another story. Long ago, there truly existed such a young one. It's him. It's him. A tune that lingers. The Getian clan and the Myanmar tribe created uh, the first music and dance. The music of the Getian clan sings 8 hymns. First, bearing the people. Second, dark word. Third, nurturing grass and trees. Fourth, stirring the five grains. Fifth, revering heaven's constancy. Sixth, proclaiming his sovereign's merit. Seventh, relying on the earth's virtue. Eighth, summing the ultimate of all things. From then on, there were countless young monks skilled in music. Among them, there was one young monk who was especially intoxicated by music. He lost himself in music and rarely socialized with his kin. The years in the mountains are long, knowing neither cold nor heat. I could not tell when he left. It's not you. It's not him. To the young man, 1,000 years is but an instant. Come to think of it, how many years have I spent in the mountains? Uh, I'm just gonna choose the first one again. Enough. This is nothing strange. It's such a light spent to him. 1,000 years is an instant, and an instant are no different. To me as well, it is the same. Doubts. Until one day he left. He felt he had learned all the scores in the mountains and decided to go down alone to see whether the path of music, the humans below the mountain, had anything worth studying. He must have been disappointed.
Exactly.
He was disappointed. Below the mountain, it is like this, as the saying goes. As the season press on, life is really hard. He went to many places, met all kinds of people. Bustling marketplace. Banquet of young nobles and sons of high houses. and households of strings and song with orderly in her. The young man heard her very soft sigh. What a pity. So rough. He thought if heaven could give her 30 years, perhaps everything would be different. At that moment, the sky was just beginning to brighten, still left the lush uh, courtyard. Of course, immortals have their own considerations. Why would they bother with an immortal's life and death?
No.
It was not so. Rain, because of this, stayed one extra day. I think it is Getian. He has the young man's background and learned he was merely a nearby sitter carver. A sitter carver. If so, how could I not know that my ancestor once produced a famous sitter master? If a young man truly altered his fate, why have we, generation after generation, still only be able to make a living carving sitters? Because it was only a little tune, ordinary and unremarkable. After that, nothing earth-shaking happened. The young man who played the sitter should have died young, and the young man wanted his friend to have a smooth life. Everything went as wished, nothing more than that. But this is his bone. It is not him. The young man even left his remains to his friend, making them into a sitter. I understand. You're telling me that one need not demand perfect excellence in all things as long as one is sincere. This truth I understand now. The music my ancestor could play, I too can play.
Please.
Since that's the case, can I stay in the mountains? Below the mountain, there are far too many miscellaneous matters. Now I know my wrongs, and I only want to find a quiet place. And when uh, I was young, I studied instruments single-mindedly. But your destiny is not here. You came from below the mountain, and in the end, belong below the mountain. Yes, I should have realized. Then after I go down the mountain, will I still have the luck to meet you in this life? Perhaps not. I don't know. It's the first one. As you can see, the young moon's path was already cut off 100 years ago. They left one after another. Now, I am the last young moon, and there is nothing below the mountain that draws me. Perhaps doubts.
Goodbye.
The long river. Yes. I think this is the last one. Stage 10. Yes, that's the last one. Could it be that everything was just a great dream? I I plan to go down the mountain and find a peaceful place to stay for the time being. I've heard that nearby there is a place called Pay City, beyond royal authority, where there are both arcanists and humans like me. From now on, I will continue learning the sitar. Only before that, if I'm fortunate enough, I wish to hear once more the piece my ancestor played back then.
I see.
This sitar does not belong to me. It should not. It should be returned to its rightful owner, if you are willing. It is truly a fine sitar. The one who carved it must have put a great care into it, polishing again and again to achieve this.
However,
Using bone is uncommon. Perhaps this is why the sitar carver was slightly careless. Perhaps his heart was full of sorrow, because this was his friend's remains. In any case, I cannot see the sitar carver's bones.
why?
And you, what were you truly thinking? Getian asked the bone. The bone remained silent. Only when the sky grew dim did I stop respirating. At this moment, the slanting wind sings westward. Humans are asleep, Arcanists are asleep, and the grasslands and mountains, and the entire world as well, are still asleep. Perhaps, no, naturally not for so-called supreme god of the world. Or perhaps, no, not even for that tune, nor for the one who played it. So brief, so hard. Perhaps precisely because of this, it is worth cherishing. Beyond the mountains, sun pale and moon. Elder, did you hear the sound of a sitter? Hey, sit steady. Yeah, hello? Don't go scaring us all then. You must have heard wrong. The Paling River is swelling badly today. Out on the water, aside from the sound of water, how could you hear anything else? No, Elder, someone must be playing the sitar. Look at the opposite bank. Even the birds are starting to fly. The sun is up. Sparrows naturally go looking for food. What's strange about that? But besides, how could sound how much sound could one person playing sitar make? Enough to carry all the way to the river and only for you to hear. Perhaps the one playing is an immortal. What immortals are there in this world? Could it be that you've actually seen one? I... It's nothing. I must have heard wrong. Enough at this pointless strange talk. At least tell me where you want to go. I want to go to Bay City. Bay City? Where's that? I pulled boats for over 30 years and never heard of it. Because of the previous choices in the story has undergone slight changes. The young monk hovers the strings with his wings, remains silent for a long while. Below the mountain, in the end, he puts the sitter away. Uh, the young man, waiting for an answer, continues to wait. Perhaps such day will come, he thinks. It will be another spring, another winter night, another utterly ordinary day. In some other place, he will hear another song and stop for it. There, he will find the answer he seeks. One day, he will encounter it. One day. Ending to. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm just gonna do the opposite of what I did. 2, 3, 4, and 6. We're choosing this. Having it are the same. Perhaps uh fresh fragrant bitter, how strange. Perhaps because everyone brews it differently, he thinks. The Mayangmang that go down the mountain bring back news as well as fashionable utensils and techniques. Therefore I know a little.
I know very little of it.
I think that's the end of it. There's no different from I didn't mean to do that. 3. The first one. Some are overly curious. And others are quiet and reserved. On the moonlit night, Getian could see him standing quietly on the highest branch, stretching his feathers. Getian guessed that he probably would not leave. Humorous, that joke, okay. Number 4. Propose repairing the ancient city. If you do not mind, our arcane arts can may be able to help. His lips move, but in the end, he only lets out a sigh. Thank you, but there is no need. I can carve sitters. Yeah, I remember that. The buff ending. So think of it, how many years have I spent in the mountains? So, in any case, for a meal now, it is only natural. And that's it. There's another one. I don't know. Thinks for a moment. There's nothing below the mountain that draws me. However, my kin in the story also never thought he would go down the mountain in the past. In 10 odd years, in several dozen years, in thousands and hundreds of thousands of years, perhaps my thoughts would. Okay. And the ending. Into after that conversation with the boatman. However, this is not an illusion. A cool breeze brushes past the Mayangang's wings and also across the faintly trembled strings. It is another very ordinary tune being tentatively played for the first time. Hmm. Yeah, the first one's probably the Highland one. Hmm. There's a lot longer than I thought. Or probably because I'm still a little bit sick and I'm a bit slow. I'll probably have to postpone paper herons again if I'm very sick tomorrow. Uh, but that's it. I wanna rest. Oh, like the two other boxes of like auto cards that I have. I'm gonna probably do that first before paper heron. I should do that at least this week. But anyway, I wanna rest. See ya.